Greetings, fellow classic TV fans! Some of my favorite childhood cartoons had a few things in common. For instance, the vocal talents of DAWS Butler. He developed his skills early on as an impressionist, which would later come in handy. Butler's first big contribution was that of the Emmy Award-winning Huckleberry Hound. Also in the Huckleberry offshoots, he voiced Mr. Jinx from Pixie and Dixie, who seemed very much like Marlon Brando. Dawes' iconic Yogi Bear was believably an impression of Art Carney's Ed Norton. Butler's Snagglepuss character and the Wizard of Oz Cowardly Lion seemed quite similar too. Dawes stated himself that Wally Gator mirrored comedian Ed Wynn, and Hokey Wolf was very much like Phil Silvers. But it wasn't all imitations for Dawes, as he was also the original voices for both Quick Draw McGraw and his sidekick Baba Louie. He also did the iconic voices of Elroy Jetson, Captain Crunch, and most of the characters from Wacky Races. The Emmy Award-winning Nancy Cartwright credits Dawes Butler as her mentor, saying of him he was always amazing, always encouraging, and always polite. And that's some pretty high praise from the likes of Bart Simpson. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans! In 1964, a single-season Hanna-Barbera cartoon joined the ranks of the Flintstones and the Jetsons in a primetime slot. It was called Jonny Quest, and how's this for a mouthful for the genre? An original American science fiction/adventure animated television series. And here's one I surprisingly hadn't heard before: Spy-Fi. And no wonder we loved it. Full of action and intrigue, the realism of the animation was a true artistic breakaway from the usual Hanna-Barbera productions. With diverse main characters, the 11-year-old Johnny was usually joined in his adventures by his adopted brother Haji, and of course their bulldog, Bandit. His scientific genius father, Dr. Quest, was portrayed for most of the episodes by the popular voice actor Don Messick. Messick also did Bandit's barks, and why not? He was also the voice of Scooby-Doo. The special agent charged with the protection of the Quests was Race Bannon. He reportedly was modeled off the 1940s and 50s movie star Jeff Chandler. The voice of the original Johnny was actor Tim Matheson. You may remember him as Otter from Animal House and also as Captain Loomis Burkhead in Spielberg's 1941. Clearly, Jonny Quest covered a lot of bases and thus was so powerful that the single 26-episode season actually led to 20 years of reruns as it made its way through all three major networks. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans! Did you know that Carl Reiner used to go to the cast of the Dick Van Dyke Show and ask them if they had anything funny or odd going on in their lives? He would then take that material and go write the scripts for the show. Thus, it was based on a true story. But the names were changed to protect the innocent. And speaking of innocent, did you know Mary Tyler Moore lied her way on the show by telling the producers she was 19 when she was only 17? Even Dick Van Dyke thought she kind of seemed young to play his wife. But in fact, the two blended so well as husband and wife, the TV viewers actually thought they were married. And although they admitted to having crushes on each other at one point or other, what developed was more of a brother and sister relationship that lasted ever since. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans! They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and romantic. Of course, I'm talking about the Addams family, but more specifically, Gomez and Morticia.
Gomez.
Morticia.
Gomez.
Morticia. It's said that John Astin and Carolyn Davis wanted to portray the couple as having a grand romance. And this was just to counter all the frigid portrayals of married couples on TV at the time.
Darling, you think of everything.
So, all Morticia really had to do was speak one word in another language. Tish! That's French! And next thing you know, there's Gomez kissing his way right up her arm. And you know, in none of the episodes he ever makes it to her lips. And of course, there were all those great pet names they had for each other. It was an inspiring, yet spooky, love affair. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans! Get Smart. The spy comedy from the minds of Mel Brooks and Buck Henry ran from 1965 to 70 with 138 total episodes. Besides everything, one of the great aspects of the show is its vast array of guest stars. Here's my top 5 best cameos. At number 5, it was an uncredited role for James Caan as the swashbuckling Rupert of Rathskiller in episode 107, To Sire with Love. During the third season, they actually had consecutive episodes containing some of my favorites. My number 4 was Ernest Borgnine, who had a quick one-liner in episode 77, The Little Black Book. Number 3 was Milton Berle. Uncle Milty played a hotel clerk in episode 78 titled Don't Look Back. And speaking of hotels, at number 2 on my list, it was Bob Hope popping in as a bellboy in episode 79, which was called 99 Loses Control. But my number 1 had to be the Tonight Show legend Johnny Carson. He didn't appear in just 1, but 2 episodes. Number 13, titled Aboard the Orient Express, and number 74, The King Lives? Honestly, I had no particular reason for the order in which these go, as I loved them all. But to me, these were the top 5 best cameos. Do you agree or disagree?